Hi, and welcome to Freelancer Showcase, hosted by Slice Creative Network and TETV. My name is Melody Matheny, and I'm the founder of Slice Creative Network. Today, we're going to interview Justin Martin. Welcome, Justin.
Hey, thank you for having me. Ooh, there we are.
Thanks so much for coming on. I have to admit, I've been stalking you on social media for a couple of years now, and I'm very excited to see your portfolio. I know you've been
No,
doing some
thank you.
amazing things.
Thank you, thank you. No, big fan of obviously Slice and TV. So thank you for both of y'all having me and for Slice being such a great program for freelancers in the themed entertainment industry.
Thank you. Thank you. So, such a pleasure to have you. So, tell our audience what disciplines you work in.
So typically, I work as a art director, creative director, also a little bit of a designer, doing a lot of concept design, but also regular design work, kind of just spanning the gamut of like early concept, typically, but also in my most recent work as an art director, taking something from concept into the field.
Okay, so can you tell us more about some of the places you've worked at recently and in the past, or some of the projects you've worked on?
Most recently, I came off being the art director for Meow Wolf Convergence Station uh, for in Denver. And on that project, I basically worked in the design phase all the way up through installation, working with our vendors and bringing that project to life. Prior to that, I did 2 rounds with Universal Creative, once as a designer on Volcano Bay, and then more recently working as the creative show quality lead for Universal Studios Hollywood. And overseeing that stuff going on in the park, but also for Jurassic World: The Ride. Um, and then even prior to that, worked with Thinkwell Group for a couple of years on numerous projects, NFL experience, the Warner Brothers studio tour out in London, and a few other projects as well.
So, I think a better question would be, what projects have you not worked on? I'm just kidding. Uh, you've clearly done a lot, and
Yeah.
yeah, since your time in the industry, that's wonderful. Where are you located right now?
Right now, I'm out in Los Angeles, out here in Burbank, California, and been here for a few months now.
Okay, great. And if you were offered a position somewhere else in the country or in the world, might you be interested in talking about that? Or you want to stay
Yeah,
put?
at the moment, I gotta stay put. I have some family obligations out here, but freelance-wise, definitely available to work remotely and everything.
Excellent. Do you mind sharing your portfolio with us now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hooray. Thank you.
All right. So here's my little portfolio here. So I do want to preface this also with this is a very like edited down version of the portfolio. If anybody's interested in seeing more, feel free to reach out to me, and I can get you the links and access to the more the bigger portfolio. We'll say that. So yeah, as mentioned kind of before, you'll get my little brief backstory, some notable projects: Meow Wolf, Jurassic World, Volcano Bay, Dark Arts, Hogwarts Castle. It goes on and on and on. Been really grateful to work on some pretty crazy and amazing projects with some awesome teams. Um, and so really to kind of get started, I kind of talked about with Meow Wolf really doing the early concept design and really being involved in the early stages, but then taking it to the field. So these next 2 slides kind of are just a quick ideations that really were actually not really used in, for a professional sense with Meow Wolf. This was more exploratory on my end of just like, how can I get this thing to work? So I like to really work with, we've got our narrative from our team, and we know, all right, this is what we're looking for. This is the vibe, the setting, the story we're going to tell. So I take that, really do a lot of like just quick sketches, grabbing a lot of reference imagery, finding ways to put that into little like key ideation sketches, just kind of hammering out as many ideas as I can. A lot of the time that'll take that into a SketchUp Lumion image that is kind of the one that's on the right hand side there. Kind of just try to like, let's see what the atmosphere could look like lighting wise, as well as playing with some elevation sketches, just like, hey, what could this thing all look for, or look like together as one cohesive experience. And that kind of goes for this page as well. Another ideation moment for me, Owl Wolf, where we were developing, hey, what could this thing look like? We knew we wanted a catacombs looking area. So for me coming onto the project, being a little new, as we had some ideas already formed, hey, let's figure out what some of this stuff really could hammer out and look like. How are we going to give these concepts, ideas to our vendors to eventually go out and create? And then on the, our bottom rockwork elevation, at the time of when I was brought on, I had no rockwork art director. We eventually got Greg Ballinger, shout out Greg, and it was amazing rockwork art director for us. But really just trying to figure out like, hey, what is this going to look like when we were in there? And so that was kind of just a more exploratory stuff for me. So mentioned that I work in the concept side of things, but then also take that into the field art direction side of things, really where I love being in the field, working with our vendors, but also working with our contractors, just the everyday, building things to really take those sketches and bring them to life, give them that like character that, is going to make this feel like a real place, because it is now a real place. So these next two slides here are just some reference imagery of those things that we took from sketches and then brought to life. Some of you have different worlds that are created within Meow Wolf Convergence Station. Some of my favorites are, we have our Convergence Street or C Street, and I really loved getting into that because it's all this muck and grime and nastiness that is all over the street. So how do we make this place feel lived in and real? And full of character to tell our story. So those are some of our lovely photos by our incredible fabricators, vendors, and artists that we had inside of Meow Wolf, and was lucky to just kind of direct it all in the field. So from there, small project was Hako Park. We had a project that was overseas in China. I got to go overseas for 3 months and work in their office, and as more or less the creative director and art director on this project. They had a park that was not doing too well, was looking to get it a little bit better, and wanted to take it to that next level. And so we came in and kind of helped them out. I will preface this one. The 3 images here were not drawn by me. These were just the art direction, creative direction that was put in during the effort. My main actual focus on this role, other than overseeing the design and development of this project, was a lot of narrative treatments, actually. Wrote a ton of different things, and that's one of those other things. If anybody's interested, feel free to reach out. I can get you those narrative treatments as well. But basically, this was a 3-month effort where we took the project from early concept and really just gave a really nice, finished, polished concept package to the client to see if they liked it. And overall, we think they liked it. Not sure where the project currently stands, though. And then so none of these are project related, these next 2 slides, but these are just, hey, these are some sketches over the pandemic, had a little bit of free time. So I kind of just wanted to come up with a bunch of different concepts, new ideas, illustrations, and kind of just hone in on that a little bit more. So these kind of just show the range of what I like to work in a little bit, all done in Photoshop with some SketchUp as, for perspective reasons. So the top left is a fun Viking inspired tiki bar. We have a Japanese inspired parade float, kind of Aztec temple concept, and another temple ruins. I love, for some reason, drawing like ancient ruins. But yeah, this was kind of just like different techniques that I wanted to play with and see what kind of stuck. As well goes for this one as well. Doing kind of just a medieval village elevation study, taking what does a castle look like potentially in a village, down to the villagers and the external cottages out in the village area. Some bird's eye views, and the bottom right being a photo bash concept. So that really is, funny enough, the whole gamut of the portfolio at the moment. So I'll keep it on that slide for a second. But yeah, it's kind of just a lot of concept work, field art direction, some narrative stuff for creative direction. I do, like I said, I have SketchUp, but the some SketchUp that I have on here I can't show online at the moment. But if you do go on my website, there is a whole tab that's like all NDA approved, excuse me, SketchUp work. So plenty of that in there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. It
Thank
makes me
you.
all excited to see such creative juices flowing. I love it.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, about your Meow Wolf work, Meow
Mhm,
Wolf operates so differently than, kind of this corporate structure that the theme park industry is used to,
mhm.
and I know that they love to incorporate all kinds of different artists and fabricators and kind of everybody, and that's really exciting. Um, as your role in the was it creative director or art director? I'm not
Art
sure what your
director.
title was.
Yeah,
Were you able to work with all those different people on that project, or how did that
yeah.
all function?
Yeah, absolutely. That project weirdly was not too different from what, we work in the themed entertainment traditional sense of the word. And really, uh, there was at times some more oversight, and at times we really were hands off on a lot of the designs, whether it be the internal Meow Wolf artists or the 100 plus artists that were Denver locals that were exhibiting in Convergence Station. Um, and we really allowed them to either have as much help or as little help, but also at times we had our guide rails that we needed to kind of make sure things were hitting within the experience itself. So really, we provided sketches and we helped some of our external artists find what they were looking for, but our internal side of things. We really kind of had a vision, clear cut idea of this is what we're looking to tell story wise. And then when taking that to vendors and whatnot, they were all the typical vendors for the most part you would find in theme park construction projects. So they kind of knew the language we were trying to go for. It was a little bit of a learning curve because it's not as maybe as traditional as like we're going to build a castle and it's going to look like Hogwarts or something. We're going to build instead some wild sci-fi city that is unlike anything else. So we kind of would have to help guide them a little bit, but for the most part, they were all really really great to work with and understanding of what the crazy idea was going to be in the end.
Right. That's very exciting to watch all of that happen, from the sidelines from us creatives who were not involved. We're like, "Wow, this is mind-blowing, and it's a
Yeah,
new way of working, and it's very exciting." So thank you for
yeah,
sharing that with us.
yeah.
I'd like to ask you, what other disciplines do you work in or have interest in that you might wanna share with our viewers?
Yeah, yeah. At the moment, I'm working on learning Blender right now is a big one. Trying to take that SketchUp game, bring it up a little bit to a higher level. Did a little bit of like even physical model making. I weirdly enough, right next to me, have a little model that I've been working on right now. So like to dabble in that. Really, I take a long time ago when I was trying to get in the industry, I had someone tell me like, "Hey, the number one thing to learn, like the best way to be a creative in this industry is like have a way that can show a concept or idea." So I kind of like to have a bunch of different tools, so whether it be the physical models, 3D models, writing, sketching, all that stuff. I kind of like to just dabble in a lot of things, whether I'm maybe good at it or not in certain aspects. I definitely like kind of just playing to see, maybe this will spark an idea or something to somebody else on the project team.
Right, wonderful. Okay, tell us about what programs you work in.
Yeah, program wise, a lot of Photoshop is kind of seen in the portfolio. Really, the three is Photoshop, SketchUp at the moment, and I guess Microsoft Word or whatever it would be to just do a lot of like creative writing. Those are probably my three like biggest weapons that I use on a day to day basis.
Gotcha, okay. And, if our viewers would like to be in touch with you or see more of your work, how can they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can feel free to reach out to me directly, justinmartinartist@gmail.com or at my website, justinmartindesign.com. On there's got a bunch more samples, actual projects. I'm on LinkedIn and Twitter, all the social media. So I'm not too hard to find, I hope. But yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any other questions or want to see more. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to go check out more of your portfolio after this. So thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
sharing with us, Justin, and thanks for coming on
Thank
the
you,
show.
Melody.
If you all out there would like to learn more about Justin or find some other freelancers who work in the themed entertainment industry, please visit us at slicecreativenetwork.com. Thank you.